Hi guys, welcome to day 1 of Unit 2, Week 2. Today we will be reading The Tale of King Midas, a Greek myth. It can be found on page 12 in your books. The directions for today are in this rectangle. Number 1, read paragraphs 1 through 18 of The Tale of King Midas. So as you can see, we're not reading the whole thing. We are just reading paragraphs 1 through 18 today. As we read, we will highlight sentences that describe King Midas' important actions in our books. Then we will record our findings in the key events chart. The key events chart is this right here on this slide. So the first thing we need to do is go to our text and read it. As we are reading, we will highlight any important actions performed by King Midas. So here we are, page 12. The Tale of King Midas, a Greek myth. I will model how to identify key events within the few first paragraphs, and then you will read the rest of the paragraphs on your own and finish highlighting those key events. Here we go. The Tale of King Midas, a Greek myth. Once long ago, there lived a rich king named Midas. Midas loved two things in his kingdom with all his heart. He loved his daughter, whose name was Marigold. Midas also loved gold. In fact, except for his daughter, Midas was fonder of gold than anything else in his kingdom. He loved gold more than his beautiful yellow flower garden. He loved gold more than a beautiful sunset. He loved gold more than a delicious feast. So, in the first paragraph, King Midas is described. I learned about his character traits, which really is that he loves gold. And although we learn about his character, this paragraph does not describe any actions. So I will not underline anything in this paragraph. I will keep reading. As time passed, Midas yearned for more and more gold. His dear Marigold would bring him pretty golden buttercups or yellow dandelions from his garden. Midas would smile and take the flowers, but once Marigold was out of sight, Midas would frown. Why can't these flowers be real gold? He wondered. If they were, I would be so much happier. Okay, so the first sentence in paragraph 2 describes an action. Midas yearned for more and more gold. This is telling me an action that he did. And he was wanting, he was craving more and more gold. I think that's very important because it really does tie in with his character, which we learned in paragraph 1, that he just loves gold. So let's go ahead and highlight or underline this first sentence. Midas yearned for more and more gold. I feel like this is going to be important. Let's keep reading. Every day, Midas went to his favorite room, the treasury. There he counted his coins. Each month, his people paid their taxes in gold. Okay, so paragraph 3 describes an action. Midas goes to his treasury every day and counts his gold. However, I don't think this action is important. He does it every day, so it probably doesn't move the story forward. If it turns out it does, I will go back and underline it later, okay? Sometimes, especially with stories, it can be hard to tell which events are important until later in the story. So if we find that this is important, him going to his treasury every day, we will come back and highlight or underline it, okay? For now, let's keep reading. Midas believed that gold gave him power. So if he had more gold, he would have more power. With more gold, he could become the most powerful ruler in the ancient world. Yet Midas was kind. He did not want to tax his people more than necessary. How then would he get more gold? Okay, so paragraph 4 describes another action. He is too kind to overtax his people for more gold. I think this might be important because I think he will try to get more gold another way. So I will underline it. He did not want to tax his people more than necessary. Okay, he was too kind. Oh, I better underline this because that's important. Let's keep reading. I must have more gold, Midas muttered to himself. With a sigh, he closed the door to his treasury. I will take a walk in my garden. Maybe that will make me happy. Paragraph 5 describes another action. Midas takes a walk in his garden. I think something important will happen on this walk. I'm going to underline this because I feel like this is going to move the story forward. And again, after I'm done reading the story, if I find like, no, this is not important, I can come back and, make a little note that it's not. But as of right now, I feel like it probably will be important. Paragraph 6. Midas gazed out over his garden. Gold-colored buttercups, dandelions, and daisies danced in the breeze. His giant sunflowers had turned to face the sun. Their yellow petals shined like gold in the sunlight. Even the path Midas walked on had a golden glow. My flowers are beautiful, sighed Midas, but they are not real gold. Midas's happiness disappeared like smoke up a chimney. Paragraph 6 describes the walk, but I don't see, or I didn't read of anything important happening in paragraph 6. So we will continue reading. I'm going to read one more paragraph and then you guys will do the rest. Paragraph 7, here we go. Upon reaching the end of the path, Midas saw a satyr asleep in his bed of his golden flowers. The satyr was a strange creature that was half man and half beast. Satyrs usually stayed in the woods, playing music and helping the Greek god Dionysus. The satyr was old and thin, and Midas took pity on him. Okay, so something important happened here. The important event that happened here is that Midas found a satyr sleeping in his garden. So we definitely need to annotate that. So Midas saw a satyr asleep in his bed of his golden flowers, okay? Now on your own, you will read paragraphs 8 through 18. Paragraph 18 is found on page 16. Once you get to paragraph 18, you may stop. As you are reading those paragraphs, you need to highlight any important actions performed by King Midas. Please pause the video and finish annotating. When you are done, you may continue with the video. Okay, so now that we have read paragraphs 1 through 18 of the Tale of King Midas, and we have highlighted sentences that describe King Midas's important actions in our book, it is now time to record our findings in the key events chart. So here is my key events chart, and I will just write them in sequential order. So the first thing I highlighted, if I go back to my book, to the story, you can see that the first thing that I highlighted, the first important action, is Midas yearned for more and more gold. So then I will go back to my key events chart and I will go ahead and type it in the space for number 1. King Midas yearns for more gold. That is the first thing I highlighted. That's why I wrote that in there. Then I need to go back and see, what did I highlight as a second important event? Well, I highlighted Midas was kind. He did not want to tax his people more than necessary. So again, I will come to my chart and I will write it. He decides not to overtax his people, even though this is a way to get more gold. Then I will continue, so on and so on. So the third thing I did was, I highlighted, was that he went on a walk to cheer himself up. So that is why I wrote that. You will now go ahead and write the rest of the key events that you highlighted into this chart.